Welcome to Technology and Education. Today I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford.
And today we are talking about the teaching responsibilities that new assistant professors have as newly appointed faculty members. Caroline, what kind of teaching responsibilities should a new assistant professor expect?
Well, really, it depends on the institution in which they're working. Some people only have a 2-course contract. Some people have a 3-course contract. Some people actually have a 4 or 5-course contract. Semester by semester, fall and spring.
I'll take the 2-course contract. What do I have to do to get that?
Well, usually that's a Research One university. But as an assistant professor, a brand new tenure track assistant professor, usually the university offers a course buyout. The first semester, maybe the first 2 semesters, so that you don't have as significant of a teaching load, and you can get used to the policies and procedures within the university structure, get to know the students a little bit better before you start the advising aspects of it. And it takes a long time to develop a course, especially someone who has never taught before previously.
So in other words, if normally an assistant professor would be teaching 3 courses a semester, with the course buyout, that person would only be teaching 2 courses.
Right.
Now here's the trick. You just said that it would take a long time to develop a course.
Absolutely.
Well,
especially for someone who has never instructed before, who has never been a K-12 classroom teacher, who has never taught as a doctoral student, never developed a syllabus, any of that.
Okay, so you go to your interview. Mm-hmm. You're selected by the learned interview committee to be the new faculty member. You accept. You walk onto campus. It's September 1st. Your class is beginning, and they say you're going to teach such and such a course.
One would hope you would know at least a few weeks beforehand, if not months beforehand.
I mean, that's my point. As a new faculty member, should you ask to teach a course that's already been designed and you just take over, or should you expect to have to teach a course that you design as soon as you step on classroom?
Well, are we talking about online or face-to-face? I'm guessing we're talking about face-to-face.
Face-to-face, face-to-face.
So a face-to-face course, you still have your own style of instruction. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with reviewing someone else's course syllabus and pulling components out, or even using it very much as it is, because you don't know the student body yet, and you're brand new in the tenure track situation. And this is, one would imagine, already been tried and tested with the student body.
And nobody paid you over the summer to develop the course that you're going to teach.
Well, that's another good point. On the other hand, that's kind of a component of the teaching, the third of your contract for teaching. You are expected to be able to develop a course because you have the knowledge base to instruct the course, right?
After you begin your contract on September 1st, I would be saying, I'll start developing my course on September 2nd. But before that summer before, if you're not being paid, should the new assistant professor say, if you want me to teach, when I teach, I really need to have a course that already has a syllabus designed and the textbooks selected, so I don't have to worry about having textbooks, special textbooks sent to the bookstore and so on and so forth.
I've been in both situations where I was given someone else's course and was told, hey, here's the previous syllabi, do whatever you want, as well as here's a course, figure it out. And neither one was a good experience. So that's a really difficult thing to answer. You already have your knowledge base. You already should have developed an understanding of your style of instruction. This is a brand new environment. The students have basically learned their behaviors of how to be a student in this environment, and you don't know what that is.
Plus, you also have class size mixed in there. You could have a class of 15 students. You could have a class of 100 students.
Absolutely, and it's important. I would go to your colleagues, your faculty colleagues, and go, okay, so tell me about these students. Tell me what the expectations are. Tell me about your courses. What is the standard of expectation? How many students am I going to be teaching here, so I can figure out if I'm only offering a midterm and a final, or if there's going to be group work, projects. What are the expectations here?
Yeah, how is a typical course designed that's a face-to-face course at this particular institution?
And the fact that you chose that institution suggests that you very much liked and appreciated and respected your faculty colleagues. So no doubt you're very interested in finding out how they instruct, what the students are like. But at the same time, your first semester is kind of a touchstone, figuring out what's going on, how it goes on, what you can get away with your instructional style, and developing your own instructional style. And then you start developing your reputation amongst the students. It's not going to be an immediate, oh, the students adore you, or oh, the students hate you. It's going to be a process that you're going through. And expecting someone to have amazingly strong course evaluations their very first semester at any institution is just wacky. Considering the amount of information that you're going to be taking in, especially as a new tenure track faculty member, at best, I will be amazed if you rank amongst the best of the best.
Well, couldn't I just give all the students A's and get ranked the best of the best?
Oh, wow, that drives me crazy. Yeah, I come from that weird little background belief that the students earn their grade.
I mean, it works for the Ivy League places at Yale. Everybody gets an A.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not true.
Oh, yeah?
I'm sure that's not true. The students earn their grade, but after stating that, the new tenure track person needs to consider there will be grievances. The students will go to the associate dean and dean and scream about you, and you need to have a reasoned approach as to why you're instructing in that manner, why you're grading them, grading the students' work in whatever format that you are. If you are offering a project, you darn well better have an assessment rubric designating exactly what you expect and the quality of expectation for the point allocations, because you will be tested. Absolutely, you will be tested.
Well, now, given that teaching at college is not like teaching in a high school, how many assignments, gradable assignments, should an assistant professor be giving, or for that matter, any professor be giving?
Well, there's always a question about masochistic tendencies.
Absolutely.
Consider, this is 1/3 of your contractual obligation. 1/3. Research and service are your other two components that you have to address in order to also obtain promotion and tenure. There's no reason to kill yourself on innumerable assignments. There's no reason to have 5 different assignments due every single week. That, to me, that's just crazy. It doesn't make sense. This is busy work. At a certain point, it does become busy work. Well, and you're taking away from the objectives of the course.
It's like, do the math. Suppose it takes you 10 minutes, conservatively speaking, to check each student's assignment that you yourself assigned. And let's say you have a class of 30 students. Well, that would be 300 minutes, or what, 6 hours.
For one assignment.
For one assignment.
If it's only 10 minutes per assignment.
Right, and if you
can get it done in 10 minutes, well done to you. I've never been able to pull that off.
Yes, if it's a gradable assignment and it's worthwhile doing, then that's
it's
something
worthwhile
else.
giving a strong evaluation to the student's work. Look at all the time and effort the student put into it.
Now, I can remember when I went to college, there were 3 grading points. Midterm, actually 4. Midterm, final,
and paper.
And
final
term paper. We all knew that. If the class was small enough, and indeed we did have classes at where I went to college that were small enough, 20 to 30 students, then your participation and discussion went into that. But nothing was real tracked about that. It was just a gut feeling on the part of the professor. But you just mentioned rubrics.
Best of luck to you with that gut feeling.
Times have changed, and the use of rubrics has come in.
And it's fair for the student. Tell me what you expect. I hate guessing. Okay, so you want what exactly? I hate that about any type of instructional environment. Tell me what's expected of me, and I will meet or exceed that. But how do the students know unless you inform them of your expectations, especially quality expectations? So you're begging for a grievance if you don't do that, and grievances are just not a wonderful thing to be in.
Right. So just to protect yourself as a professor, when you're
spend the time at the front end.
Yes, develop that rubric. Let the students give the students all the information they need to know about the assignment. And one thing that I've always suggested is do not make the students make inferential leaps from your lectures. Don't say, oh, because I said that,
I meant this.
They should know that I really meant that.
And how would anybody possibly know that?
I don't know, but
there's a reason that they are in the class. They want to learn the information from you. Make the cognitive leap for them.
I've seen some assignments given at some universities, and I'm amazed because it has no connection with the
subject matter.
With the subject, what was being taught. Well, I shouldn't say no connection, but tangential connection.
Well, we all have those horrible stories. Yeah, I sat in the class and the person instructed, it was a lecture for the full 3 hours every single week, and oh yeah, really interesting to talk to. Had nothing to do with the exam. Nothing. So you showed up every week, you took good little notes, and you did everything possible to do well. Had nothing to do with the
Right,
exam.
it's that phenomenon which is where the teacher says, because I did this, you should be able to do that. Well, it may or may not.
Absolutely not. Make the connection for the student. Where's the ladder? Where's the cognitive understanding?
It may or may not be
That,
connected.
to me, is a poor instructor. Well, I thought the student should be able to do this. Did you do it for them? Do they have any idea there is that cognitive
Do you have
leap
any-
there? No. You're a poor instructor.
She's so kind.
Well, that's
That's-
probably not a kind thing to say, but it's still true. Why are you standing there in front of the class? It's because the students have paid for that knowledge. Framing it for them is your job. They can read a book. They don't need you there. And if that's all the students need to do in order to pass the class is read a book, what good are you?
True.
What a horrible thing to say, huh?
True, and it will be the last thing that we say because we've reached the end of this edition of Technology and Education Today. For Technology and Education Today, I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford. Bye.